morning. Books have filled our daily lives for as long as we can remember, from childhood tales like Green Eggs and Ham to the high school classic Lord of the Flies. Reading has shaped us into who we are today. This has allowed for growth in the way we think and interact, which in turn has shifted how we choose to read books. But are we reading too much into how we are reading? Which leads us to today's overarching question: should libraries be replacing traditional printed books with digital ebooks? I've been a book enthusiast my whole life, and this is something I've heavily researched in the controversies surrounding it. Today we will find out that ebooks have overall increased the number of library users. We will also see that professionals believe that reading traditional printed books offer more cognitive benefits than digital. And lastly, we will explore the value that traditional library buildings bring to our society. This issue first gained traction in the early 2000s when popular platforms such as Amazon Kindle took off. Ebooks are books in electronic form that you read digitally rather than a traditional printed handheld book. They're accessible 24/7 from nearly every single location, and they also offer a variety of adjustable features such as font size, font color, screen brightness, and other audio and visual options that you can play around with. This has overall sparked an interest for many more people to read that previously found reading to be unenjoyable due to physical limitations, as well as just an interest in the general population for the convenience it offers. Although an increase in the appeal for reading these books have taken place since ebooks sparked in popularity, there are still consequences to the demand. A study from Pew Research in 2012 revealed that 52% of book borrowers stated that at one point or another they discovered a waiting line to borrow a book. Now that it's so easy for these books to be accessed and borrowed, the rate and the wait time has gone up because of the steady demand. Some titles even being waiting for months to even a couple years for popular titles. With statistics showing that there's an increase in library users, it also brings up a new question: are ebooks safe? Dr. Margaret Murga, a reading and education specialist from Australia, argues that artificial light exposure from light-emitting e-readers may interfere with readers' ability to sleep, ultimately leading to adverse health impacts. As we know, with any increased screen time, negative results can come, such as decreased vision, behavior problems, and negative impacts on mental health. That doesn't change regardless if we're reading or performing any other activity digitally. Anne Morgan from Stavanger University in Norway believes that reading traditional printed copies offer more value than reading digitally. She reveals that when you read on paper, you can sense with your fingers the pile of growing pages growing on the left and shrinking on the right. This cognitive process helps improve reading comprehension that you can't get when swiping digitally from page to page. Our last main point we explored was the value library buildings bring to our community. With an increase in the demand for ebooks, it raises a concern that we will no longer have the library buildings that we know today. A survey conducted by the University of Strathclyde revealed that 57% of adults disagree that digital libraries are an adequate replacement for traditional libraries. These libraries are holding much more than just a book's inventory, and they are holding free resources as well as a safe public meeting space for various activities to occur. A regular library patron from that same study commented that libraries are social spaces at the heart of the community that no digital platform could be able to replace. We have now discovered that ebooks have increased the number of regular library users. Therefore, now that it's more accessible, they've also discovered that reading traditional printed books have more cognitive value and comprehension skills than reading digitally, as well as the value that physical library buildings are bringing to the community. To conclude, there are pros and cons to both reading digitally and traditional printed copies. I encourage you to weigh these statistics discussed today with your own personal preferences to decide what reading approach is best for you. Even as technology continues to change and adapt, reading will always be important and stay relevant. Thank you.